the Russian economy and how international sanctions are beginning to have a bit of an impact now.
That's right. This Ukrainian crisis is making an impact, as you said, on the Russian economy. Today, the finance ministry said that Russia could likely enter a recession. Growth for the first quarter of this year contracted 0.5%, and the ministry doesn't expect any improvement for the second quarter. Analysts say the country's overdependent on energy exports like gas to Ukraine and other Eastern European states, and failure to modernize the economy. Now, the finance ministry also revised down its estimate of net capital that would leave Russia in 2014 from $100 billion to $80 billion. Officials are calling this Russia's toughest economic condition since 2009, when the country went into a deep slowdown. Now, after the Kremlin declared the Ukrainian territory Crimea part of Russia, it appears President Vladimir Putin has ambitious plans for the region and will receive nearly $9 billion of funds that were slated for the Russian pension fund. According to officials, that's enough to support Crimea's economy for more than a year. And today, the Russian president presented a draft law to create a gambling zone in Crimea. There are only 4 such zones in all of Russia. So could Crimea become the Russian Las Vegas? Crimea is home to Russia's Black Sea Fleet, and a lot of vacationing Russians go there for the beaches, but it's unclear yet if it'll be a successful venture. Now, the Ukrainian crisis is weighing heavy on the minds of investors, but so is earnings week. More than 30 companies of the NASDAQ 100 are slated to report. So far, stocks edging higher on Wall Street today. Halliburton shares were up over 3% after positive first quarter results, and Netflix is about to release its results in just under 45 minutes after the closing bell. We're also waiting to hear from Apple, Ford, and McDonald's, among others, about their earnings this week. Now, trading was also boosted after a series of economic indicators predicted U.S. growth is on its way. Let's take a quick look now at other company news. Kraft Foods is voluntarily recalling more than 43,000 kilograms of hot dogs after it was discovered they may contain cheese. The company believes its classic cheese dogs were mistakenly packaged as classic wieners, an unwelcome surprise for those with an allergy to dairy. A customer alerted Kraft to the mistake Friday, and U.S. Food and Safety authorities labeled the situation a Class 1 safety hazard. It's a much-anticipated announcement. Vivendi's French telecom unit, SFR, is to partner with Britain's Vodafone. The 2 telecom giants are expected to unveil a network-sharing venture. Earlier this month, Vivendi accepted Numéricable's bid for SFR, an offer of at least 13.5 billion euros in cash, plus a 20% stake in the new entity. Well, Paris is one of the world's top tourist destinations. That's not news. 80% of tourists visiting are from Europe, but it's a region that's been struggling to recover economically. In hopes of avoiding a slowdown, officials here in Paris have launched a campaign that goes beyond the usual glitz, glamour, and luxury of the City of Lights. It's an attempt to appeal to the budget traveler, and it's working. Delano de Souza has more.
This Belgian family are visiting Paris on a shoestring budget. For a 2-day visit that includes transport and lodging, they've paid around 100 euros each. A visit to a famous perfumery and a picnic were organized by their tour operator. But they're making sacrifices not all families are willing to make. Their journey from Belgium lasted 6 hours, and when visiting the sites in Paris, they either walk or take the metro. Their hotel is also located 15 kilometers outside the city. Meanwhile, low-cost tour operators say business is booming.
We cover all age groups. It's a large profile and ranges from families with children to retirees, students and workers.
This couple are seasoned budget travelers. They find the low-cost travel packages on offer attractive.
It allows us to make many trips in the year. We're used to small visits as opposed to longer holidays that last for weeks. That's what interests us now, to travel more often. Maybe cheaper, but often.
Clients pay extra for each add-on, for instance 12 euros for this cruise on the Seine. Low-cost tours attempt to widen the scope of visitors to the City of Lights.
Time now for one last story. Some call Henrique Duran a thief, and others say he's Spain's version of Robin Hood. He swindled banks out of nearly 500,000 euros. From 2006 to 2008, he took out 68 loans from 39 banks with no intention of paying them back. He then farmed the money out to social activists and funded anti-capitalism projects. After 2 months in prison in 2009, he's been on the run ever since, much to the chagrin of many banks and whoever is Spain's version of the Sheriff of Nottingham. That's it from me now. I'll be back in an hour with more news, more business news, as well as the earnings from Wall Street. Back to you, Laura.
I'm sure the Sheriff of Nottingham would have tracked him down a long time ago. William, thank you very much indeed. We're going to find out what's got people clicking, sharing and liking over the past 24 hours. It's time for Web News.